So next, let's talk a little bit about Carillon area. And this is by very popular park here, Maymont Park and Bird Park. It's still considered a city of Richmond, kind of downtown. You're very close to the downtown areas, but this is kind of like, I want to say, downtown and suburban. If you marry the two together and then you have a baby, this is that area. that this is what would come of that. To say it that way, where you have kind of like the bird feel, but you're not necessarily, but you still have the city right next door. And this particular area is also a very historical area, and where it's located. And so, $600,000 is going to get you about, again, about a medium-sized home, about 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, maybe 1.5 bath. Again, a little bit older homes. It is next to a very historical park and historical, things to do. And so, this is one of those areas where you're paying for the location. There are some areas where, you're like, oh, $600,000, that's just too little of a house. But you're paying for the location in this spot because it's such a prime location, such a beautiful spot. I mean, I equivalent it to if you were to buy a house in a waterfront property and you're looking outside to the beautiful water every day you wake up. Obviously, there's no water. Well, there is water actually in Bird Park, not like waterfront where you're like in the beach or anything like that, or you're not right there by the river. Like if you were in other parts of Richmond, which we'll talk about that in other videos. However, you're being by the park and being able to go outside and go for walks and enjoy nature. Maymont Park has so much to offer. They have little spots, little gardens. They have an Italian, they call it the Italian garden. They call it Japanese garden. I mean, they have a waterfall. And this was this couple, I believe their name was Adulis, many years ago. They didn't have any children and they had about 100 acres of land. And they, once they passed, they donated this land to the city of Richmond so that it would be conserved and used as an education for the city. And so it is, it has a mansion where they lived, and you can go in and do a tour there. Beautiful. I've done the tour I think twice. 2 or 3 times, I think, with my family. Every time a new family member comes into town, we definitely take them over to Maymont to enjoy that area. The park is beautiful. I've taken pictures. This is a really good, popular spot for wedding pictures, birthday pictures, prom pictures. Like I said, they have like a Japanese garden, and different times of the year. I went one year in the autumn, and it doesn't matter what time of year you go to Maymont, you can totally just enjoy the beauty of it, or of everything there around you. They also have like a petting zoo there for the kids. They have animals outside. You can do a whole walk. I do that with my kids to kind of get our exercise in. We go by there, and they have the bears. Not as many animals as obviously you're going to see in a zoo, but they do have the goats and the chickens and farm animals where they can feed the goats. And then you walk down and they have the eagle, and talk a little bit about, the animals of Virginia. They have a nature center, which is relatively inexpensive, and they have animals from Virginia that they kind of exhibit there. Like taking my kids to, they actually redid it. They had an otter there. I think they have a new one, because the one that was there, unfortunately, she passed. But some of us do keep up with that kind of stuff. But Maymont is a huge park, and it has a lot to offer. So obviously, if you're thinking about buying a home in this area, you're gonna pay for the location in which you're in. So a little bit, but Unlike the city, like I said, this is where the suburb part comes in. You're going to actually most likely, yay, have a driveway where you'll be able to have your guests come in for your housewarming party. However, keep in mind that because it's near Maymont and Bird Park is right next door, and it has like a middle, kind of like a lake in the middle, and there's ducks there, and people like to come again and walk, and they do events there as well. Keep in mind that during the weekend, where most people, especially during the springtime and during the summer, where you're going to have a lot of people coming in to walk, to, do events, to ride their bikes, to kind of just have a picnic, the front of your house may be filled with cars. So keep that in mind as well. And if you are planning to have, people over maybe on the weekend, or maybe, for a large amount of people after certain hours, I think they start towing. So just keep that in mind. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So, but that area, like I said, it's really nice. And so the homes, you're gonna pay for the area more than the home itself. So, typical older home, you may have like a radiator still in there, if you know what I'm talking about, versus like, the more modern central air. You may find some modern homes, but it's still considered a historical area. So it's not gonna be like the whole nine when it comes to your more renovations in that area. So that is the Carillon area, more around the Maymont Park, Bird Park, still kind of downtown, where you're still downtown, but you're kind of like a little bit away from downtown, but very nice area.